Jewish people because she was born for such a time as this. And God responded, and God gave a positive result. Today, God wants to use you, but are you willing? Are you willing to be used by God? Are you willing for God to come and speak into your heart and speak into your life and say, this is what I have for you. This is the plan that I have for you. This is the purpose I have for you. It's scary sometimes, but God wants to build faith. God wants to give you the faith to do what He's calling you to do. And you may not have the faith at first when God speaks to you, but that's okay, because God will teach you faith. He will teach you that He will be your provider. He will show you, and He will open doors that you could never even imagine would ever open, because God wants to teach you this. It's all part of our Christian life and our Christian faith, that we begin to develop a deeper and stronger relationship with God. If we don't have faith, it doesn't matter, because God will teach us it. Are you willing? You may have excuses. Yeah, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too thin, but if God can use a donkey, He can certainly use you. God can use each and every one of us for His plan and for His purpose. Are you willing? It's all about obedience. It's not about gifting, it's about obedience, because God can give you gifting. It's whether you be obedient to His word, whether you listen to His word and do what He is calling and do what asking you to bonds and book to people and take cost. Oh, you my voice. You didn't explain, didn't accept what I was doing, didn't have the faith to do it. You have the faith to do it, and I belongs to the church. So when we are obedient to God, when we're obedient to God speaking into our lives, then we receive the blessing as well. God wants to live with us. When He blesses us, when He gives us hope, when He gives us a purpose, He also provides. God just wants to see obedience. Obedience is the most important thing from our lives. It's the most important thing to God. We can go to church. We can go to church every day. We can pray every day. We can give our money every day. God wants obedience. He wants an obedient heart. If you've been hard, then God isn't listening. He's not listening to prayer. Now, free Jonah, but God wants you. Are you running away, or are you listening to God? God has a call for each and every one of us. He has a destiny, a purpose for each and every one of us. But are we listening, and are we obedient to what He's saying and what He's calling? Whatever we go through today, it doesn't matter what we go through in our life, God can use that for His purposes and for His plans. You might have been someone who's been an alcoholic. Oh, God could never use me. Well, God can use you to speak to the alcoholic. How? Because you understand what he's going through. You would understand why a person would turn to alcohol. You would understand what it's like to be addicted to drugs, because you've done it. So you know who's addicted into drugs. The person who's been abused. You can understand why someone would go back to an abusive husband or an abusive wife. And again, because you've been in that situation, you've been in that circumstance, so you can reach out and help people who are in the same situation, in the same circumstances, because you have a destiny and you have a purpose. God doesn't bring us out of our circumstances for nothing. He brings us out so that we can go out and reach others, that we can do and touch other people's lives. God just wants to see obedience in us. Are you a person who's obedient? Esther's destiny, if she chose to accept it, was to save the Jewish people. She was going to save the Jewish people because God had called her to do it. She just needed to be in today to help others, to show love, because that's ultimately what people want. If you look around, all around society and all around life, people are just looking for love. Even if they're doing bad things today, they're just looking for love. I remember a few weeks ago, I was in the yard and I saw her niece was there, and the dog went up to her and sat right next to her, but didn't do anything. And I could see what he wanted. He just wanted to be stroked. And he was waiting there to be stroked. All he wanted was love. And really, that's the same of each and every one of us today. All is just to be loved. So if we have a world that is hurting, if we have a world that is just looking for love, we have an answer and we have a solution. We can go out there and we can show love to a hurting world. We can show love to a hurting society, because that's really what they want. Esther is a hero of the Bible. She had destiny and she fulfilled it. What about you? What's your destiny? What's your purpose? What is God saying to you? Allow God to provide for you in every step of the way. Get a vision from God. Get a focus from God, and be obedient to His calling, because today you were born for such a time as this.